it was not really easy for me because it was during Ramadan when I joined them, and doing everything under this scorching sun was so hectic for me. And we would just keep on walking from our office till we reach the Anganwadi, and yeah, if the Anganwadi is nearby, otherwise we would take rickshaw. But other than that, once you reach in the Anganwadi, you have to visit each and every homes. You have to be there on the field for at least particular amount of time, like 6 hours was the maximum time that was there for allotted to us. So that was the thing, and it was not easy, to be honest, but then it was exciting, you know. So things may not be easy, but if they are exciting you, then you are going to definitely do them really really well, and that's what happened to me in this case. Assalaamualaikum. Pleased to have you guys back on my channel, and in today's video I will be sharing my internship experience. So initially I wanted to share my BSc experience, then my MSc experience, and in that manner in the end I would be sharing my internship experience. But I completed my internship very recently, like 1 month ago. So I wanted to start with the very recent experience that I had in my academical career, you know. So I am thinking to make this a series where I would share my experiences in a reverse chronology. So it would be my internship experience first, and then my master's experience, and then my bachelor's experience. So for those of you who don't know, I did my master's in food science and nutrition. That's the course that I opted for from SNDT Women's University Juhu campus. And this video is for anyone who wants to work in an NGO setup, or who just wants to see what kind of internships are done and what kind of things an intern goes through, you know. Okay, so first thing first, when in my fourth semester, when my teacher said that you will be having two major things to do in this semester, the internship and your dissertation, apart from some few subjects that were optional and we have to choose from certain subjects, so that was a different case. So that was the fourth semester outline. Okay, so initially we were said that we will be given certain internships at particular places, that is mostly food industries, and we were also promised that the college will be providing us internships in hospitals also. But then as the time for our internship came, and the internship was of 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, so that is basically 1.5 month. So as the time was nearing, and by this time we were also asked to complete our dissertation, because there is particular amount of months allotted to each and every semester. So as the semester 4, which was the last semester of 2-year course, was ending, you know, so like last 2 months were remaining, so they started saying ki, come on girls, look for internship and everything. And that was the moment when we all realized that this college has like kind of fake promised us, because they were not ready to help us in the most precise way. Okay, the coordinator was good enough that she helped us find certain industries and everything, but then apart from that, they just promised us that from here on they would just provide us with a certificate, with a form basically, that has to be submitted to the industry or NGO or a hospital or wherever you are working. Okay, so that was the case. Other than that, it was completely left upon the students to go ahead, find their internships. They would send certain contact numbers, certain industries ka naam वगैरह from time to time, but then contacting them, asking them for internships, it was completely on to the students, including me. And then when I went ahead and talked to my coordinator that ma'am, you people told me that I will be given an internship in hospital also, and I am very keenly interested in working in a hospital setup rather than industrial setup, because by then, by the amount, by the type of work that the labs, you know, we used to have our lab work, right, in the 2-year course, and by the kind of work that was done, it would just exhaust me a lot. So I really did not want to go ahead and do my internship in a lab or in a factory setup, though I am still interested in exploring those areas. But back then I was like, I am just too done for these 2 years that I really don't want to do my internship again in a industrial setup. So I really wanted to explore something different. And then I talked to my coordinator and she completely denied it. She was like, either you have to go ahead and do your internship in a factory setup, or you have to opt for an NGO. And I tried to convince her so many times that, ma'am, please karne do, please, I will find everything for myself, you just have to sign the letter that you are providing us. So she was like, no, I am not going to sign that for you. So after, that was the moment when my hope broke. But then I was like, let's, because this, because it was something that I have to complete it, otherwise I would not get my certificate of masters, right? So then I was like, चलो ठीक है, अभी जो है उसमें ही कर लेते हैं, इंडस्ट्री में तो मुझे काम नहीं करने का था, I was not that interested. But because everybody around me was doing in an industry, the internship in an industry, and even my parents said कि चलो अभी नहीं हो रहा है तो यही देख लो क्या कर सकते हैं. So I tried to call few of the industries around my city, and around my basically area, in my area. Then कुछ particular distance तक I started searching, I started doing everything. I tried calling so many industries, so many food testing labs वगैरह भी रहते, so that is also a good thing. So I tried calling them and seeing if there is an internship in Mumbai. Okay, so there is an internship available at their places, and most of them were like, no, we do not provide internships. And a few of them were like, we do provide internship, but this is not the right time, call us next month, maybe next month there will be vacancies for interns, for these that. So that was how everything was going on. And then certain internships were very very far away from where I live, so basically commuting to those places would become a hell to me, daily. Already I was commuting 2 hours, okay, from my place to my college, and now the internship scene would take me so many hours, and the frequency of the trains to those places is also not really good. So I skipped the internship thing at a, so I skipped the whole thing of my internship, working as an intern at any of the food industry, right? Then I went ahead and I started searching for NGOs. And then I remember once we had this viva in third semester, and the teacher who was taking our viva, she was from FMCH, about which I will be discussing in few minutes. So she was from that NGO, so she just tried to tell so many of my classmates that if you ever want an internship, you can contact us. And then she dropped her number as well with us. So that's how I at last I contacted her, and I asked her what are the steps and what is the procedure to get an internship at FMCH. And then she guided me very calmly, and then back and forth scene होने के बाद I was selected as an intern at FMCH. Now FMCH stands for Foundation of Mother and Child Health. Basically they are a national NGO who aims at working on first 1,000 days, that is from the time when the child is conceived in the mother's womb till the child reaches the age of 2 years. So this is the time period that they cover, first 1,000 days of life. And they also cover malnutrition, which includes SAM and MAM cases. Then they cover pregnant and lactating ladies. So basically first 1,000 days में जो भी age groups आ जाता है and उनकी जो भी तकलीफ़ें होती है, they cover all of these areas. And then they are an NGO as well, as we can say they work on a technology basis. So they are tech NGO, basically tech and healthcare NGO. So I got my internship at FMCH. Cut to the scene where I entered their office for the first time. So there I met my program associate, and she guided me what would be my work, and she explained me how FMCH work along with Anganwadi workers. they look into first 1,000 days, and also the pregnant and lactating mothers according to their health and SAM and MAM cases. And they work along with Anganwadis, and they have a team of field officers who go along with Anganwadi teachers or Anganwadi workers, ANM workers, and then that's how they work towards bettering health of the beneficiaries. So now what was my role as an intern? So basically my role for first 2 to 3 weeks was to just observe everything, what kind of work is done, who are the FOs, how do they work. I have only read about all of these things in my theory classes, but never did anything practical, right? So now this was the best time of my life, to be honest, that I was able to see everything, I was able to observe everything, and it was so fascinating, and it was a very learning experience to me. So there for the first 2 to 3 weeks I was only observing what kind of areas they cover. Now what is actually Anganwadi? So for the first time I was actually seeing what an Anganwadi look likes, and then who an Anganwadi teacher is, and how do they work, and how do Anganwadi workers work, and what are the what kind of people are there in the community, whether they are helpful or whether they are accepting what we provide them, the good knowledge, good for their health, or they are not. So that was all the scenarios that I came across. And then I also came across how to practically measure height and weight, and what a stadiometer looks like, and everything, basically everything that I have only read and learned about in my theory classes. So this was the first time that I was actually looking into everything on practical basis. सो या नाउ स्पीकिंग अबाउट माई एक्सपीरियंस, अगर लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस के हिसाब से बात किया जाए तो इट वॉज़ fabulous. Like I learned a lot, not just what I said previously, but also because FMCH is a technology based NGO. So I also learned a lot about how to work on Excel sheet. I didn't really know how to work on Excel sheets before FMCH. So yeah, that was one thing that I learned. And then I learned how to format stories in a different way, because I have always written stories, but in a very literature English way, and here it was totally different. Here it was more like a report writing, because we have to report those stories to someone superior to us, right? So that was the case. So that's what I learned. Then I also conducted few sessions. Then the best part was to counsel the beneficiaries. So human interaction has always been the best thing that can happen to me. I love human interaction, listening to their stories, telling what I have to tell them. So that was the best part of my internship work. So basically I was there helping the FOs, listening to the whole conversation, and then adding up whatever they missed, helping the beneficiaries in whatever ways I could. And then initially I just had this practical observation of how to measure the anthropometric measurements, but then later on I actually did that. And oh my goodness, I still remember for the first time I was holding this tiny baby. I think he or she must be of 1 month, okay, and I don't remember if it was a girl or a boy, but it was really small, and I was so scared to hold that baby and measure it on the infantile meter. And I was like, oh my goodness, nothing should happen to this baby. So very carefully I took the measurements of that baby and similar other babies as well. But one thing is for sure, until and unless you don't practically do work, you would not realize where you are wrong and where you are right, and what are your capabilities, what potential you have. That can never be accessed by yourself until and unless you practically perform a particular work. I also got an insight of what community setups are, how they are set up, how they are built, and then what this health post that they are now. Health posts are small hospitals that are set up near Anganwadi, so that all the community people can go there, do the regular checkups. Then also the pregnant and the lactating mothers go there, get their monthly injections, vaccinations, and even the children up to 5 years, 10 years go there and get their timely in vaccinations. We were asked to work on this small project, like I and one more intern along with her. So both of us were asked to work on this small project where we have to create a coordination between FMCH and the health post. So we wrote down the proposal letter, and then we went there, we had a talk with them, we understood like what are their work, how do they work, what are the timings, who all are the in charge and everything. And then we have to document all of those things in the Excel sheet. That was a small project that was given to me, and I was so excited. And I remember I took leaves of few days, and when I came back, this was the first thing that I completed, and I went to 2 health posts. And now when I'm saying it's not nearby, you know, if one health post is in this part of the city, the other is in that part of the city, so it was not that easy for me. I had to cover 3 health posts, and the 3 other health posts were covered by other intern, okay, my co-intern basically. So when I came back, this was the first thing. And on the very same day I covered 2 of the health posts, and my program associate, she was little shocked. She was like, तुमने दोनों cover कर लिया आज? And I was like, हाँ मैम आज हो गए दोनों. I was feeling so happy about that. So yeah, it was a great experience, especially when my master's experience was nerve-wracking. It was so bad for my mental health, and after that I was really hoping, you know, I was praying कि please मेरा internship अच्छे से हो जाए, please ये अच्छे से चला जाए. And I was praying that I get good people around me. And to be honest, the people were such they were so beautiful, you know, in terms of helping you, in terms of understanding you, in terms of supporting you, in terms of understanding your things. So it was a very happy environment, you know, a very green flag environment to be. I want to say is that the environment here where I was working was very non-toxic, which was a great thing, because coming out of a toxic environment of my masters, this is what I was vouching for the most. Overall, it was a great learning experience in my life. So yeah, that's it guys for this video. I hope you like this video, and if you did, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. See you guys in my next video. Bye.